Dating modern XXs is probably worse than surviving a month on a deserted island. I'm not joking. If I was to choose between going back to the plantation or surviving on an island for 30 days, I'd choose the deserted island in a heartbeat. I remember when I used to date with the hopes that I would get a good woman who would be loyal and loving to me back in the day, and I would often feel drained and defeated with each girl I tried to convince to be in a relationship with me. I often got friend-zoned, used as an emotional tampon, rejected, humiliated, treated as less than, watched other guys get these women and got absolutely nothing of value out of it. Even when I got the girl, she would do the bare minimum in the relationship, and most of the work and responsibilities would fall on my lap, while all she did was bish and complain about what I wasn't doing. Nothing I did was enough. To this day, I have never heard a genuine thank you or appreciation for what I provided in the relationship. How many of you watching this video can relate to what I had to go through dating modern women? I bet most of you have had one or most of these things present in your relationship, which goes to show you how trashy modern XXs are and how tragic dating has become. I haven't even touched on the cheating and the games they play in relationships, and already we can all agree on how brutal these women can be, so my point is, why on earth would I want to go back to that? And let's talk about the fact that most men are not getting the so-called good women anymore. It is almost impossible for men to differentiate good women from the bad ones because they all look, dress, sound, act the same, and share the same mindset towards men and relationships. Not to mention, all women nowadays wear a different mask depending on which phase of their lives they're at. You can meet a woman on a CC and she's gobbling salami left, right, and center. Then on Sunday, you'll see that same woman in church praising Sky Daddy and acting like she's holier than thou, and that peace sleeve has never been touched. And on a Monday, she is at her job focusing on her career, and when she goes home, she's a princess warrior for doing the bare minimum of raising her snotty-nosed kids. How many masks was that? I know plenty of women who wear different masks to different people and try their best to hide the fact that they're a 304. As a man seeing this play out and watching these modern women change like the weather, how can you possibly trust these people? I could not, knowing what I know now, and that's just the awful reality that men have to come to grips with. While you were asleep in the quote-unquote matrix, you didn't see XXs in these lights. You thought they were sugar and spice and men were the dogs, only to find out that they were just as bad, if not worse, than most men. Because let's be real, they are the gatekeepers of sex, so it makes sense that they would do more dirt than men because sex for them is easy. Women don't have to work to give away their cookie, so for us to believe that men who have to go and put their best foot forward to get one piece of stank are the dogs is ludicrous. All of the talk that men cheat and men are dogs is nothing more than self-rejection and calling out the wrong men, because I know that many men can't even afford to cheat on their women. Today, there's data that proves that men aren't even having any bedroom fun, while fewer and fewer younger women still have their V-cards, so that should tell you what you're up against in this dating cesspool. It's pretty clear that women only want to select few men who are the cream of the crop, and they are the ones with the big salami and are able to cheat because all the women want them. If you doubt what I'm saying, if you are a regular guy, just sign up for a dating app like Tinder or Bumble and see how many women you get to agree to go out on a date, let alone let you slide betwixt their legs. I bet you'll be lucky to get 5 women who agree to go out on a date with you that leads you clapping those cheeks within 6 months. The amount of men that complain about dating apps back up my claim, so I know that most men are not being selected. Also, by now, we all know that women are hypergamous, so they tend to date up income-wise or genetic-wise. So if we accept that as a viable argument, then why would they overwhelmingly choose regular dudes when they can get the men who have all of what they want to at least pike them down? Or temporarily support them and show them the finer things in life? It's pretty simple when you look at it like that, and women validate this point when they say the man has to make 6 figures, be 6 foot tall, have a six-pack, and have over 6-inch salami. None of those standards applies to the average man, so that should tell you everything. The average man's salami is below 6 inches, but many women seem to want men to have 8 inches and above, so something doesn't add out if the majority of men were out here slanging Johnson. XXs would know that most men don't carry a big digging stick. So it sounds to me like XXs are sharing the men with the big salami, while the average man isn't getting a lot of action, or at the very least, those men are married. Now, why am I saying all these things in the first place? Well, I'm showing you that some of the things you believe about women are false or aren't exactly what you've been told growing up. Enough women are messing with top-tier men, making it hard for average men to get wives. Enough women are cheating in relationships, catching the itchy-scratchy and passing it on to different men. Enough women have high standards that disqualify average men from being able to date and get into a relationship. Enough women are choosing to ride the CC and getting knocked up, which leads them to become single mothers for us to identify that there's a problem with dating modern women. If these issues were minuscule, then so many XX and men would not be single, and so many children would not be raised without a father in today's society. These are just a fragment of today's societal problems stemming from dating and relationship issues, and they are only getting worse. The next thing men have to put up with if they date modern XXs is entitlement and delusions on another level. Gone are the days when you could sit beside or across from a woman and have a civil conversation. Those days are over, guys, and you're not going to see them back anytime soon. Today's women think that they are doing men a favor by just showing up on a date, and they expect and demand that you bring them to the finest restaurants without expecting anything at the end of the date. I would rather sit down and pluck out my hair one at a time than deal with people like that. Then they have the nerve to tell you what other men they dated did for them on the date with you, expecting you to try and outdo the previous man. Not only that, if one of these XXs does end up giving you some booty after 3 dinner dates, they'll start to push for cohabitation, a relationship, or going on a trip, as if just because they gave you some peace leave, you're supposed to do whatever the hell they say. You see what I mean? After she gave up the cat to many men before you for free, she now expects you, Mr. Good Man, to pay top dollars for what other men got with very little investment. Then you have to put up with the delusional XXs and their demands. Some of these XXs show up to the date bigger than a moose and act like they're a 10, and you must work to get what's betwixt their legs. That's not all. If you insinuate that you'd like to bring her back to the crib and get a couple of strokes in, she'll place rules on you that you have to commit before getting what dozens of men got for free. This is what men have to deal with because, according to those XXs, I'm not that type of girl. I honestly don't know how men still sit across from women like that anymore because it's not worth it. Even the ugly chicks think they're better than you because they have better men piping them down late at night when everybody else is sleeping. These are the things that men have to go through in the hope of getting some peace leave, and many men realize that the juice isn't worth the squeeze. Dating modern XXs waste their time, energy, and attention with little to no rewards at the end. This is why you see men going their own way, going monk mode, becoming free agents and joining the passport gang because dating modern XXs, especially in the West, is not worth it. Many men aren't getting the desired outcomes with modern women, and it almost always ends with the man getting the short end of the stick while the woman goes to one of her many options and gets the brakes beat off of her. So it's no surprise that men no longer want to date modern XXs anymore due to how brutal and unfulfilling it is. That is why I advise men to stop traditional dating because it usually leads to disappointment, and it's for men looking to get married. If you don't plan on marrying a woman, then dating makes no sense. There are many other options that I previously stated, so it's no longer necessary for men to date XXs anymore. Not only that, XXs are selling themselves at the soul society for very little, so if you can cast away your morality and realize that all relationships, including marriage, are transactional, then getting a subscription girlfriend might be up your alley. If none of the options I've stated is for you, then flip a coin and continue dating modern women. Some of you will have some short-term success, but most of you will still be frustrated if that's the road you choose to walk. Personally, I'm done with dating because I don't plan to marry anybody, and I don't want the BS that comes with it. So at the moment, I'm currently on monk mode, but when the time comes to release some stress and tension, I'll be headed for the soul society to have some fun. That's just me though. It's up to you to make the best decision that benefits you because it's your one life, not mine or anybody else in this sphere. Tap the like button so we can get a couple more guys to see this message. And on the screen are our Season 11 RP content that will open your eyes to the honest truth of modern women, so click the video right now to learn how to deal with them.